684 Battle of Marj Rahit. Umayyad partisans defeat the supporters of Ibn al-Zubair and cement Umayyad control of Syria. 707 Princess Abe accedes to the imperial Japanese throne as Empress Genmei. Genmei's reign spanned the years 707 through 715 CE. 1304 The Battle of Mons en Pevely is fought to a draw between the French army and the Flemish militias. 1487 The Siege of Malaga ends with the taking of the city by Castilian and Aragonese forces. 1572 The Huguenot King Henry III of Navarre marries the Catholic Margaret of Valois, ostensibly to reconcile the feuding Protestants and Catholics of France. 1590 John White, the governor of the Roanoke colony, returns from a supply trip to England and finds his settlement deserted. 1612 The trial of the Pendle Witches, one of England's most famous witch trials, begins at Lancaster Assizes. 1634 Urbain Grandier, accused and convicted of sorcery, is burned alive in Loudun, France. 1809 The Senate of Finland is established in the Grand Duchy of Finland after the official adoption of the Statute of the Government Council by Tsar Alexander I of Russia. 1838 The Wilkes Expedition, which would explore the Puget Sound and Antarctica, weighs anchor at Hampton Roads. 1848 Camila O'Gorman and Ladislao Gutierrez are executed on the orders of Argentine dictator Juan Manuel de Rosas. 1864 American Civil War, Battle of Globe Tavern. Union forces try to cut a vital Confederate supply line into Petersburg, Virginia, by attacking the Wilmington and Weldon Railroad. 1917 A great fire in Thessaloniki, Greece, destroys 32% of the city, leaving 70,000 individuals homeless. 1920 The 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified, guaranteeing women's suffrage. 1933 The Volksempfänger is first presented to the German public at a radio exhibition. The presiding Nazi Minister of Propaganda, Joseph Goebbels, delivers an accompanying speech heralding the radio as the eighth great power. 1937 A lightning strike starts the Blackwater Fire of 1937 in Shoshone National Forest, killing 15 firefighters within 3 days and prompting the United States Forest Service to develop their smoke jumper program. 1938 The Thousand Islands Bridge, connecting New York, United States, with Ontario, Canada, over the St. Lawrence River, is dedicated by U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. 1940 World War II, the Hardest Day air battle, part of the Battle of Britain, takes place. At that point, it is the largest aerial engagement in history with heavy losses sustained on both sides. 1945 Sukarno takes office as the first president of Indonesia, following the country's declaration of independence the previous day. 1945 Soviet-Japanese War, Battle of Shumshu. Soviet forces land at Takeda Beach on Shumshu Island and launch the Battle of Shumshu. The Soviet Union's invasion of the Kuril Islands commences. 1950 Julian Lahout, the chairman of the Communist Party of Belgium, is assassinated. The party newspaper blames royalists and Rixists. 1958 Vladimir Nabokov's controversial novel Lolita is published in the United States. 1958 Brojan Das from Bangladesh swims across the English Channel in a competition as the first Bengali and the first Asian to do so, placing first among the 39 competitors. 1963 Civil Rights Movement. James Meredith becomes the first African American to graduate from the University of Mississippi. 1965 Vietnam War. Operation Starlight begins. United States Marines destroy a Viet Cong stronghold on the Van Tuong Peninsula in the first major American ground battle of the war. 1966 Vietnam War. The Battle of Long Tan ensues after a patrol from the 6th Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment clashes with a Viet Cong force in Phuoc Toi Province. 1973 Aeroflot Flight A-13 crashes after takeoff from Baku Bina International Airport in Azerbaijan, killing 56 people and injuring 8. 1976 The Korean axe murder incident in Panmunjom results in the deaths of 2 U.S. Army officers. 1976 The Soviet Union's robotic probe Luna 24 successfully lands on the moon. 1977 Steve Biko is arrested at a police roadblock under Terrorism Act No. 83 of 1967 in King Williamstown, South Africa. He later dies from injuries sustained during this arrest, bringing attention to South Africa's apartheid policies. 1989 Leading presidential hopeful Luis Carlos Galán is assassinated near Bogotá in Colombia. 2003, one-year-old Zachary Turner is murdered in Newfoundland by his mother, who was awarded custody despite facing trial for the murder of Zachary's father. The case led to reform of Canada's bail laws. 2005, a massive power blackout hits the Indonesian island of Java, affecting almost 100 million people. It is one of the largest and most widespread power outages in history. 2008, the President of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf, resigns under threat of impeachment. 2011, a terrorist attack on Israel's Highway 12 near the Egyptian border kills 16 and injures 40. 2017, the first terrorist attack ever sentenced as a crime in Finland kills 2 and injures 8. 2019, 100 activists, officials, and other concerned citizens in Iceland hold a funeral for Okkjökull Glacier, which has completely melted after having once covered 6 square miles.